Sometimes you want to hop online and play with friends. Sometimes you want to get immersed in an absolutely massive open world with endless things to do, items to collect, quests to complete, and achievements to unlock. And then sometimes you just want to pick up the controller. You want there to be no barrier to entry. You just want to dive in and immediately start having fun. Pure fun, the way gaming should be. You want to jump around, maybe shoot some things, stomp on some enemies, nail those perfect button inputs at exactly the right time, finally beat that level that you've been struggling with for weeks. Today we're talking about platformers, one of my personal favorite types of games and why I think they're absolutely perfect for new dads trying to squeeze in some gaming time between diaper changes. In this video, we're going to dive into exactly what makes a platformer, why they're incredibly fun and addictive, why they're tailor-made for busy new dads, and I'll share some of my all-time favorites that have kept me sane during those 3 a.m. feeding sessions. Plus, I have a list of platformers I'm dying to play next that you should probably add to your wish list, but I want to hear your feedback. Are these the right ones to play next, or do you have some other ones that you would recommend? But first, this is totally subjective, right? There is no best game or genre. But I think I can make a pretty strong case for why platformers are gaming gold for new dads. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you're vibing with this, and subscribe if you want more nostalgic gaming goodness. Alright, so what exactly is a platformer? What am I talking about when I say platformer? What defines this incredible genre? At its absolute core, a platformer is all about one thing, the jump. But it's so much more than that. Let me break down what makes a game a true platformer. Navigation and traversal. The core gameplay revolves around navigating your character through environments filled with suspended platforms, uneven terrain, and obstacles. You're not just walking from point A to point B, you're thinking about how to get there. Jumping isn't just a movement, it is the movement. It requires precise timing, calculating distance, and control. Every gap is a puzzle, every platform is a decision. When you see that ledge you can just barely reach, your brain immediately starts calculating, can I make that jump, and do I need a running start? Environmental hazards are huge. In platformers, spikes that can kill you instantly, lava pits, bottomless chasms, moving platforms that'll drop you if you're not careful. These aren't just obstacles, they're the language the game uses to communicate challenge and tension. Collectibles and power-ups. Those shiny coins, those mysterious power-ups, those hard-to-reach items that make you think, hey, I have to get that. They're not just score padding, they encourage exploration and mastery of the movement mechanics. Enemy integration is huge. They aren't separate from the platforming, they're a major part of it. Perspective and progress. Most classic platformers use a beautiful side-scrolling 2D perspective that lets you see exactly where you need to go. But obviously there's awesome 3D platformers out there as well, such as Mario Galaxy or Crash Bandicoot, that prove that the genre can work in any dimension. It's all about the feeling, not about the viewpoint. Although I am partial to 2D platformers, I think. Many platformers have clear objectives. Each level has a definitive endpoint. The flagpole for Mario, the exit door in Sonic, and the boss room in Mega Man. You always know that you've won, and that sense of accomplishment is incredibly satisfying. The best platformers add layers of depth. They add puzzles, hidden areas, boss battles, and secret paths. They reward curiosity and skill more than just progression. They reward you with discovery and often unlock new features to keep the game interesting and let you explore new areas or go back and replay levels in a different way. Here's the beautiful thing about this genre. Platformers were some of the earliest video games ever made. We're talking about Donkey Kong way back in 1981, where Mario first learned to jump. These games literally taught us what video game movement could feel like. And here's what blows my mind. There's still some of the most innovative and fun games to be played today. Celeste, Hollow Knight, modern developers are still finding new ways to make jumping feel magical. I think for me too, platformers hit different because the very first video game I ever laid my eyes on was Super Mario Bros. On the NES. So, platformers have a special place in my heart and I've always enjoyed them. I think there's something universal about that perfect jump that just feels right. It's pure, distilled fun in its most basic form. Alright, so why do we love these games so much? Why are they so awesome? Let me try to break it down. First, that sense of accomplishment. Every successful jump feels like a tiny victory. I'll never forget spending literally hours in my parents' basement during the beginning of COVID lockdowns, attempting that one secret level in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, 2K Bopopolis. You know the one, where you're bouncing off enemies in perfect rhythm, and if you mess up once, you have to start completely over. When I finally nailed it, after probably 2 hours, pure euphoria. I was pumped. Second is the skill and precision. These games test your reflexes, your timing, your ability to read patterns, but when you master that movement, when your character responds exactly how your brain intended, it's like playing a musical instrument. And third, variety and challenge. Great platformers keep evolving. New mechanics, new obstacles, new ways to surprise you. They walk that perfect tightrope between too easy is boring and too hard is frustrating. And finally, exploration and discovery. Hidden areas, secret power-ups, that what's behind this wall curiosity that keeps you playing way past when you should go to bed and get some sleep. Now, here's why platformers are absolute gold for new dads. No setup time. You don't need to remember where you left off in a 100-hour RPG. You don't need to recall which of the 47 weapons you had equipped. You pick up the controller, select a level, and you're immediately having fun. They're perfect for short sessions. You got 15 minutes while the baby naps? Perfect. You can complete a level, feel accomplished, and be ready to jump back into dad duties. No guilt about abandoning teammates or leaving a story hanging. They're also pretty simple controls to remember. Run, jump, maybe shoot. Your sleep-deprived brain doesn't need to remember complex button combinations or skill trees. It's intuitive, immediate, and satisfying. I think there's something special about a game with simple controls that is easy for beginners to pick up, but incredibly difficult to master. And instant nostalgia. Even brand new platformers tap into those childhood memories. That 2D aesthetic, those familiar mechanics, they're like a warm hug from your gaming past. All right, let's talk about a few games that have defined platforming for me in chronological order. Number 1, Super Mario World. This game is perfection. The cape feather mechanics, the secret exits, the incredible level design. The Super Nintendo is my first console, and this was one of the first games I played all the way through. Pure magic. Next up, we got the Mega Man X series. X1, 2, and 3 on the SNES are masterpieces. The progression system, the boss weapons, the wall jumping. There's something so satisfying about scaling a wall by bouncing between surfaces. It just feels right. Super Metroid. If you never played this, stop what you're doing right now. This is how you do atmospheric platforming. The sense of isolation, the gradual power progression, the way the world opens up as you gain abilities. It's storytelling through level design. There's even a subgenre of platformers, Metroidvanias, named after this game. It's incredible. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. Super Mario Galaxy. I'm usually a big 2D platformer guy, but Galaxy blew my mind. The creativity, the gravity mechanics, the way they reimagined what Mario could be, it's just incredible. I'm also a huge space guy, so going to the different planets and whatnot, I loved it. Another one I really liked is Shovel Knight. This feels like it could have been made in 1987, but with all the polish of modern game development, and bouncing on enemies' heads with your shovel never gets old. Next up, we got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. The level design in this game is pretty peak. Every level teaches you something new, tests you on it, and don't get me started on that soundtrack. This one surprised me, actually. I just wanted a fun platformer to pick up and play. I honestly didn't really look at reviews. I didn't expect too much, but I found it very satisfying and really, really fun. Lots of good variety and good challenge in this game. Wow, I'm realizing now, looking at that list, I'm a big Super Nintendo guy. Again, maybe because it was my first system, but a bunch of those games slap. So if you have a Super Nintendo, maybe dust it off, bring out those cartridges, or it could be a great time to pick up a Switch and play some of those old games online. All right, next up is my next to play list for platformers. And I have to admit something pretty embarrassing. There's some absolute classics on here that I somehow haven't played yet. My list includes Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I know. It's pretty criminal that I haven't played this game yet. It's on every best games of all time lists for a reason. And even has a subgenre partially named after it. Next on my list is any game from the Ratchet and Clank series. Another embarrassing admission. I don't think I've ever played one of these games, but they look incredibly fun and pretty cool weapons that you can use. So I need to fix this oversight immediately. Then some other ones I have on my list are Spelunky, Blasphemous, Super Meat Boy, Ori and the Blind Forest, Dead Cells, Braid, Prince of Persia. These are all sitting in my Steam library or on my wish list, just taunting me. But I want to hear from you. What platformers am I criminally overlooking? What games are you shocked didn't make the list? Drop your recommendations in the comments. And there you have it. My love letter to platformers, hands down my favorite genre. They offer incredible variety, deeply satisfying movement mechanics, they're perfect for short gaming sessions, and they nail that easy to learn, difficult to master sweet spot that keeps you coming back. Look, being a new dad is exhausting. Your gaming time is precious, but platformers, they respect your time while giving you that pure gaming joy that we all crave. If you made it this far, you're a legend. Let me know your thoughts below. I guarantee there are platformers you love that I didn't mention, and I want to hear about them. Give this video a like if it resonated with you. Subscribe for more nostalgic gaming content, and remember, keep jumping, keep gaming, dads. You deserve those moments of joy between the chaos. See you in the next one.